Today we are redecorating my room. It's been a while. I used to change my room once a week, and it all started because I had one idea.
One day earlier.
I'm starting a completely new painting just so that I can hang it up inside of my room. Definitely have a lot of paintings that I could hang up in my room, but I have a limited amount of wall space. As you can see, I can only really have like one big canvas, and I only paint on big canvases. I used to paint on a lot of smaller canvases, and then I would do a whole collage of all of my art pieces in one space. But I can't do that as of right now. But I used to draw or paint these really cute flower ladies. They were so feminine and I love them. It was a great time, and I kind of want to get back into that because I love women, feminine energy. I love flowers, so why not do both? So this is a little outline of my idea. It has like the mini me head shape, but then it also combines the way I would paint my flower ladies, and I feel like it would just look so pretty on a giant canvas because I've always had it on like medium-sized canvases. I'm going to paint that. Maybe I can paint it all today depending on how the paint dries.
She did not finish the painting that day.
I do not have big brushes. Okay, I have this brush. He's kind of big, but he's not good at like blending. I don't think it's actually a paintbrush. It's like a different type of brush. But yeah, I'm going to paint the whole canvas. I'm going to pick up some canvases from my parents' house. And then tomorrow, I'm going to redecorate my room, which you guys can be a part of. So exciting, so exciting. I love being in my painting era. It sits right with me, you know? So I started the painting, and honestly, I thought that I could finish it in a day, but I forgot that paint needs to dry, and that gradients are hard. But this is it so far. There's little like water droplets by accident. But and look at the little like belly button thing. It's because I don't have a flat wall. But this is it so far. Underestimated how difficult gradients are, especially when I only have a small brush. Like this is a big brush, but like in comparison to this is a very small brush. Instead, I'm gonna use a sponge, and I'm cutting the sponge into multiple pieces. I tested it out on this tiny canvas, but honestly, this isn't a good gradient either. It looks pretty similar to that, but I'm gonna try it out anyways because you can always paint over paint, you know? Yeah. The gradient was driving me crazy. I tried to fix it so many times and I end up just painting over it with white. I also made the decision that I'm just going to start that painting completely over on a different canvas because it's a little hard to paint over paint. At this moment, I realized that things are going to change in my room, and I got really excited. Look how beautiful this painting is. They have been locked up in my old bedroom, so I'm happy they are free. Also, look at this cute gift my grandma gave me. It literally broke 5 minutes after I opened it. Sorry, Grandma. My old bedroom had thousands of holes on the wall. Sorry, parents. But I live in an apartment now, so I don't want to put too many holes that I can't cover up. I also don't own a level, so I use this journal to try to align it, but honestly, all the canvases are probably tilted. Oh my gosh, look at how big I am smiling there. I was so excited. Something about having your art hung up all over your room just makes me feel so much more like myself. It feels like I'm living in the art gallery of my mind. Off topic, but I made a bingo card for myself this year, and I'm so happy because I already crossed off one activity. I know I am going to cross off at least 2 of the activities, although I'd like to fill up the entire bingo board. So far, I know I'm gonna go on a beach trip. I'm hosting my first solo art show, and I got to cross off trying a new art medium, which was clay. Under my bed, I have a picnic basket. RIP my picnic basket. I used to take her everywhere, but her handle is just not as strong as she used to be. But now I keep memories and artwork that I made inside the basket. I couldn't remember what art pieces were inside the basket, so it felt like seeing a new art piece for the first time. Most of my drawings are inside of my hardcover sketchbook, but there's a time period where I didn't have one, so I got a cheap one from Five Below, and luckily those papers can rip out of the journal. I've never hung up my drawings, so I feel like my wall is gonna look even cooler now. I didn't want to put any more holes in my wall, so it was perfect that I found these drawings. Also, who invented tape? Because I love you. You make my life so much easier. The day that I got to try out clay, my boyfriend also tried out clay, and he made this thing. It's really funny because everything that I've made out of clay has broken, but the thing that he has made has no scratches. It is resilient. This flower is a drawing that I made, printed, and then cut out. And it just made me think of how in the future I want to have canvases that I design the shape of the canvas. Like imagine the flower ladies, but the canvas is cut out like the flower lady. That'd be so cool. I like that all the paintings and drawings that I hung up all have flowers and trees. It just feels so much more like spring. I feel like I'm in a big growth period of my life. I've been going through a few rough patches, but the biggest thing is I've been getting out of my comfort zone like crazy, and it can be a very scary feeling, and you never really get used to getting out of your comfort zone. But I feel like these paintings and drawings are a reminder that I'm growing, and the process of growth is a beautiful thing. I like to collect silly objects, so this shelf is just dedicated to random things that I have made or like. You can't see it in this video, but under the photo frame are some ladybugs that I used to take care of. I used to have a lot of ladybugs in my house, but I actually have the ladybugs bodies on my shelf because they're just something that meant a lot to me. I didn't want to throw away my drawings, so I just hung them up on this shelf instead, and then I put my friend's print up. Look how pretty that corner is. This is the final result. I love how colorful everything is. Everything just feels so bright and inspiring. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys next week. Okay, bye!